Hey, welcome to Classic Performance, and today we're at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta for the HSR Historic Races. So it's a historic sports car racing. Cars like this Mazda that you may be familiar with, different types of Porsches, Jaguars, all kinds of different vintage sports cars from different series, and a lot of Porsches and even some new Porsches from the Endurance series. We've also got NASCAR Cup cars, so we're going to take a look at those. Got a bunch of Cup cars out here today, so let's get busy. Let's take a walk around, and we're going to start with the infield and the pits and the paddock area here at Road Atlanta. You know, it's a little bit quiet, and we're here on a Friday. This is qualifying day, group qualifying, kind of testing, tuning, that sort of thing. But kind of give you a view, we're here at the crossover bridge on the front straightaway. These are the inside pits over here. And just a moment ago, we had a couple of things we shot, which over here on the, and these were the original pits back when the track was constructed. These were added later on, but this is the inside pits right here. You know, you get to see all the unique cars here, like this Lola T70 Roadster. We see a lot of the T70 coupes and closed cars, but Lola with a small block Chevy. Most all of them ran small block Chevys. There's just a couple with the Ford motor. But, you know, this is probably a 67. Help me out the year if you're familiar with these cars. But it does have that 1960s styling and look to it. Great paint job. You don't see paint jobs like this on race cars very often. And your driver's compartment right here. And small block Chevy. I didn't look at 1964. I thought it was like just a... You know, it's not just the race cars that we see here. There's a lot of great eye candy in addition to that, and like your Ferrari 812 Superfast, and of course we know it is because it says Superfast right on the tag. Great looking car. It's kind of a pearlish white, and it's a little less than a white, almost a touch of silver in it, but great looking 812 Superfast. And they're like, you know, the Gulf oil livery. You never get tired of seeing that, and you see a lot of that here at Road Atlanta and the historic races. And the other thing you see is just a tremendous number of Porsches. Probably the most popular race car out here is the Porsche. So just to kind of give you just a little variation of things here, we've got a Cup car. This is a Mustang right here, and then next to it we've got the GT350, probably a 66 or 65, of course. And then, you know, what you also see a lot of, the Honda Trail 70s. So Honda Trail 70, a very popular pit bike. BMW right here. I guess that's the 3.0. And then you come on over here, and we've got a 2002, a 280Z, and another 2002. And this is Olthoff Racing right here, which is prepping these cars for the owners and drivers. You know, what you don't really expect to see in the vintage racing sports car series are NASCAR Cup cars. And this right here, you'll recognize, was kind of the old good wrench number 3 that Harvick took over after Earnhardt passed in Daytona. And you can still see the, you know, kind of, it is a good wrench car on a number 3 on it. And the old 240, that'll be a fast car there too. But this here is a legitimate RCR car. You can see it's the RCR on the dashboard, and it is a Kevin Harvick NASCAR race car Cup Series car. We'll do a little walk around here, and this is kind of the NASCAR Cup Series area. number 20 Smoke Tony Stewart, Home Depot Monte Carlo, and we've got Craftsman Truck Series, or whatever the truck series was, truck back here. I don't know that the Trump cars represent vintage livery. I don't think so. Skip Barber Racing, but we're back up here to kind of that Tide Darrell Waltrip livery, and this one here is a Ron Fellows car, so probably a original road race car. And this here is interesting. It says Gillett Evernham engines, so I'm guessing that's Ray Evernham. And then a Denny Hamlin number 11 FedEx, which is a much later model Camry. You know, so interesting enough, it does say Monte Carlo, and indeed so. It says, you look right there on that head cast in there, it does say Dodge. So that is a Ray Evernham Dodge motor, interestingly enough, in this Monte Carlo. And as we're looking at Camrys here, you can see the motor here. It's TRD on it. Toyota Racing Development. So we've got the Camry Toyota engines, the Hamlin Toyota, Chevrolet with a Dodge motor, and of course Chevrolets with Chevrolet motors and Ford with Ford motors. Another thing I do is I enjoy seeing the race haulers and some of these Featherlight trailers. This one here is, you know, TRD and number 8. You got John Hunter Nemechek on there, and you know, this is probably an old Featherlight Cup trailer from back in the day. You know, you got your coffee station here, of course, which is important. A little workbench, some toolboxes, and another little workbench here. Ventilation. I can feel cold air conditioning blowing out of here. We've got a transmission right there. And of course, your driver's area. You've got a nice little lounge up here for everybody to kind of relax in, and team meetings with a TV and that sort of thing. So this is where the cars would be up top, and they go in back with the lift in the back. A couple of brake rotors and hats. So that's it's one of the haulers. So if you're a Bill Elliott fan, we got you covered right here. This is one of the, you know, the real early Coors Melling T-Birds. And you just look at the fit and finish on this car. It's just amazing. You know, they used the OEM front end, hood, roof, and deck lid. And then we got a Ricky Rudd number 15 Motorcraft Ford, and this would have been a Budmore engineering car out of Spartanburg. And one of the early Dodge Chargers, and this Charger right here, of course, has the Dodge carbureted engine in it. And you know, they still use the old style, kind of what I would call the GM style steering box on these. Another Charger, and we'll go look at this old Monte Carlo here. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the number 9 Ray Evernham kind of signature with the 3 lines off of it. And you can kind of see here, you know, that's still kind of a factory stamped deck lid with the inner panel right here. And we'll come on over and take a look at the Monte Carlo SS. This is a little bit later Monte Carlo. This is, you know, this is the Aero Coupe with the kind of the back glass here to help on the super speedways. You know, the original Monte Carlos, the glass was flat here, and then GM decided they were going to make these to homologate the Aero Coupe for NASCAR. And then if you're from the Charlotte area, I'll get looking here. You know, you'll remember Tiger Tom Pistone race cars and parts, and there's a Tiger Tom switchgear right there. And then kind of a look under the hood. You know, and these are carbureted. This is long before the fuel injection came into being. We got here an Earnhardt Coca-Cola number 3, and this Coca-Cola number 3, that was the specialty Earnhardt car, wasn't it?
That is correct, for Japan.
Japan,
Suzuka.
Okay, yeah. Yep. I thought it was either Suzuka Japan or maybe one of the non-points.
Correct, that is correct.
Cup races at Charlotte or somewhere, the shootout.
This was the scheme from Suzuka.
All right, so this is the Suzuka Japan exhibition race car that Earnhardt drove. So if you're a Rusty Wallace fan, we got a Rusty Wallace Dodge right here. This one does have the Dodge motor. It's got the Mopar cast into it. Dodge on this side, Mopar on that side. Good looking Cup car from the Nextel Cup series. And of course, you know, roof flaps, 2 here. And we didn't see the roof flaps on those earlier cars because they just weren't a thing back then. You know, you look at the suspension on these old Cup cars. Now they're using the independent rear suspension and transaxle, but this is an old Ford 9-inch rear end. So the front end of this comes off. You can change the gear pretty quickly. It's got coil springs, and we call these truck arms right here because they were popular on the old Chevy trucks. So it's a truck arm spring suspension running a Ford 9-inch rear end. And of course you see the chain right here. So that's when you jack the car up, it'll snatch this axle off. So that chain gets tight right here, snatches the wheel up, so you don't have to lift the car so high when you're doing pit stops. You know, always work going on between sessions here. We're moving the drive shaft out. I can smell that stinky gear oil in there. So a little scramble to get the 41 going. GT3 Cup car right here, and number 40 Hot Wheels. I don't really recognize that livery. Leave it in the comments if you know. This is from the Nationwide series right here. Here we're looking at Bill Elliott cars. This is a later Bill Elliott car here, the 94 McDonald's car. Ford Taurus with the Ford engine in it. You know, take a look through here. You know, these are essentially newer, late model cars. I don't know if they're just on display or if they're actually going to be running. Are these cars running today?
Yeah, 330.
330.
Yep.
Okay, they look awfully clean to be going out on the track.
Yeah, 330 came clean.
Yeah, nice.
Fast car's a happy car.
Yeah.
Clean car's a happy car. A happy car's a fast car.
So are these retired from the?
No, it's still race season Porsche Sprint Challenge.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because these are awfully late model.
They're all new.
Yeah.
24, 24, 23, 24.
Yep.
And that's an 18.
Yeah, we'll be back here later this year for the Porsche Sprint Challenge race.
Okay.
So kind of use it as a testing event for that.
You know, we're Corvette people, so this is a 68 Corvette, and it's got the kind of the big block L88 hood on it. And take a look on the inside there. And of course, you got your roll bar, and this is the back hatch that would come up where the convertible top would stow when you put the top down.
PC car, 2010-ish. So Lamont prototype.
And what motor's in it?
This has got an LS in it.
So it is an LS,
Oh yeah.
and it's a so that's a GM casket
It's a
LS engine.
basically this is a spec car. So the engines, I think they come spec and they're like a sealed situation. So yeah, you're not really allowed to make any engine transmission modifications except for potentially gearing. But
And you know, these are 24-hour endurance cars, and you look at the suspension on here, and you look at the size of the carbon fiber rotors, our Michelin 18-inch tires on here. It does have some mufflers and dry sump oil system here, and then these bars basically support the whole back of this car. So there's a lot going on there, and a lot going on in the cockpit. You know, so here's one you might remember. I don't know if this is a NASCAR race car. I don't know. It might have been the Busch Series because I don't think they raced the Novas in Cup. But this right here is a Tim Richmond car. If you'll remember Tim Richmond, probably know Tim Richmond from the Folgers sponsorship and the Folgers Girls. And then over here we've got an old, which is a Pontiac, I think, Oldsmobile Cutlass with the Oldsmobile grill on the front right here. And a Tim Steele Truck Series truck right here. And of course, everybody knows this car, Tony Stewart Home Depot, little smoke machine right here, Monte Carlo. You know, we got a much later Cup car here in the Buc-ee's livery. Now, you know, Buc-ee's, this is not a livery from when it would have raced in the Cups, but this is a Roush Yates car. Yeah, you just kind of look at the difference in the much newer Cup car here. This is a Roush Yates motor. Still running a carburetor, interestingly enough, but kind of just got to look at the difference. Your oil pump, right? Oil pumps, I think, is over here. This is your power steering pump. You can see the line going to the power steering box, alternator, water pump, that sort of thing. MSD ignition. different groups. This is a particular group. I don't know what group number this is. Maybe group 3 or 4. Field of about 40 cars. There's all sorts of different groups, from the LMP endurance cars to the NASCAR Cup cars. These cars here, which are a lot of 914, 914.6, and that sort of thing. Kind of gives you a good look. We're going to wrap it up here of what's at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta on the HSR weekend. We're here on Friday, just qualifying, test and tune, that sort of thing. But what a variety of cars, and kind of surprising to see this many Cup cars out here. You know, we see a lot of Porsches all the time, endurance cars and that sort of thing. Even the MGs and Datsuns and Mazdas. But very interesting to see all these Cup cars. I'm going to show you one more before we go that I don't really know what it is. This has a 1970 Mustang Boss 302 livery body on it, but it's on like a Cup car tube frame. So very much Cup car tube frame inside, RCR right here. But if you have any idea what that is, leave it in the comments. So that'll do it for us here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so. We'd love to have you as a subscriber. And take care and have yourself a great day.